Have you ever felt like medical coding training is a bit expensive? Well, I have the perfect solution for you. In this video, I'm going to tell you how you can save thousands on training. It's time to put that money back in your pocket and away from student loan vendors. Hi there, my name is Victoria. I'm a medical coder, auditor, educator, and content creator. And on my channel, I provide tips, tricks, and tutorials to help you in a medical coding career. There's so many training options out there, and some of them are not terribly affordable and some of them are not terribly great. So how can you find the best budget program that will get you the information that you need? Actually, for a long time, my plan was that I would develop the program, but as my audience grew and grew and grew, and I knew that I was not great at managing a lot of tasks at once, I realized that the thought of taking on dozens of students every single month was not going to be realistic. So I went out and I'm like, let me find the best program that I can find. So the number one secret is going to be finding a good online training program. There's lots of traditional in-person programs out there, but if you're looking at budget friendly, you definitely want to go with an online program. They offer you all of the same training materials, but at a fraction of the cost. And the program that I particularly recommend is called Preppy. I'll get to how you can find out more about them in a minute, but first let's talk about why online training is such a benefit. First, there are so many programs now that are completely flexible. Instead of it being you have to meet at Wednesday at 2:30 or you have to meet at Friday for 5 hours, you can adapt everything to your schedule. So while they may say, here's our recommended course of action, if you want to finish in this amount of time, you can shape everything around all the other things that are going on in your life, work and family and your hobbies. Online training is so convenient because you can learn from basically anywhere now. So many programs are like mobile friendly that you can stand in line at the grocery store and go over some practice questions. You don't have to worry that you're going to have to pay additional fees because you're out of the immediate area of the training institution, and it tends to save you a lot of money on things like textbooks and some of those hidden lab fees that a lot of traditional institutions tend to charge. I recently priced out the cost of an associate's degree at my local community college, which tends to be cheaper than a lot of other community colleges, and it came to $11,913. That is completely insane. And I priced out the cost of going directly through the AAPC, which significantly better, but even that with the CPC certification prep alone and the books and the prerequisites, it came to $4,592. Now that did include membership to the AAPC and the exam cost, but even if we add those into the cost of Preppy still comes out significantly less. And the AAPC only gives you 6 months to complete the course. Preppy gives you double that. And they give you an externship, which is not available in the majority of training programs. And you get a college certificate when you're done, and it does count for that year off of your apprenticeship status. You can find out more about Preppy at medicalcodingmasterclass.com. That's my free career masterclass. It tells you not just about Preppy, but like everything you need to know and be prepared for so that you will be job ready as a medical coder, and that you don't have to worry like, oh, I got the wrong certification, or oh, I didn't have the right salary expectations. It's all covered in that masterclass. And again, Preppy is just like a phenomenal program. The pricing is like super transparent. There's no hidden fees. You don't have to worry that you're going to wind up with like a severe amount of student loan debt that you wind up paying 2 or 3 times what you actually took out in loans. So compared to the overwhelming majority of programs out there, yes, it will save you thousands of dollars. Now, a lot of people have asked me about self-study, like what if I want to do this myself? And I have a whole video about that, but overall, what I want to tell you is with the books that you need to sit and have for coding, and then To learn how to code, you're talking $500 to $600, and that's literally just the books. That's not going to be an externship. That's not going to be a year off your apprenticeship status. That actually, I'm not sure even covers med-term, but there's a lot of free options out there for med-term. And with self-study, you really don't have a support system like you would with a program like Preppy. You'd basically be relying on strangers online and maybe forums or Facebook groups to kind of help you out. And well, of course, there's also me and my YouTube channel. You might be tempted to save money by buying used books. I wouldn't terribly recommend this, especially if they're from prior years. There has been some huge changes in medical coding, particularly the CPT book in what's called Evaluation and Management. And what is in the book now isn't even close to what was in the book last year or the year before that. Like, it's changed so drastically, and you would be at a higher risk than I would want you to be at to get too many questions wrong on the certification exam because of it. And when you sit for the certification exam, you need to have the current calendar year's books or the prior calendar year's books. So if you're sitting in 2023, you can't have books from 2021 or earlier. There are some other ways though that you could consider for cutting costs, like if you have employer reimbursement. Sometimes it might just be worthwhile to get a job doing scheduling or registration or something in a hospital or healthcare setting, because they'll often do reimbursement for programs that are healthcare related. For example, I originally went to community college for medical insurance billing and stuff, and then got a job after my internship at the local hospital, and they said, hey, we need lots of certified coders. We're going to bring someone in to train you. You have to pay up front, but if you pass the certification exam, we'll pay you back. Just be aware though that if you do this, some employers do put stipulations on it. They'll say, hey, if we reimburse you for this training, you have to contractually stay with us for a year, or you have to reimburse that money that we paid for your training. I actually got royally screwed on something like this a number of years ago. I was working for an organization where I left, I think, just short of the amount of years that I was vested for my retirement fund. So they didn't catch up to it till years later, and I basically woke up one day and had thousands of dollars less in my retirement fund. Oftentimes though, if you're weighing out like, ooh, I could take out a student loan at this program, or I could just pay on installments through something like Preppy or something like AAPC, it's overall better usually to get those installment pays, because those student loans are like brutal. The average federal student loan debt is $37,000, and that can be a beast to try and pay back after you're done with your education. But if you're looking to save money, take advantage of all of the free resources that you can. Don't forget, you can check like if your local library has different training manuals that maybe they can even rent from other libraries and bring over to you, or things like med-term. Med-term doesn't change a lot. Anatomy doesn't change. We don't discover new organs or cells. So med-term is definitely an area where you could possibly cut some costs. Although Preppy does include med-term. Now, you can also check social media platforms. Facebook groups are great for this. There's lots of study groups, so go in and look for things like CPC study group or medical coding studies. And there are groups of people that are studying and might be having the same struggles, or have already developed a solution for those struggles that they can share with you. So there you have it. Investing in your education doesn't mean you have to drown in debt. There are lots of cost-effective resources out there. If you want to find out more about a career in medical billing and coding, definitely check out my free career masterclass at medicalcodingmasterclass.com. And check out this video on how to find a job in medical coding, because what good is all of that training if you can't find a job? You have to have a strategy for that, and I go over that in this video. I'll see you all in the next video, but for now, just keep on coding on.